what are the impacts on people and the economy, or what we call as socioeconomic impacts? There are deaths, there are injuries, people are affected through mental trauma, there is displacement, what we call as disaster induced displacement, there is loss in terms of economic loss. Many a times crops are inundated and flooded, so people lose. Then there is also other livelihood losses. Also, there are disease outbreaks or epidemics that are due to disasters. There's also impact on the built form, which includes the buildings, various types of buildings, the residential building, office buildings, commercial buildings, the schools, the hospitals, various types of buildings, and also the infrastructure networks, the water supply lines, the drainage lines, the telecommunication lines. And as we can see that today there are the one terminology of critical infrastructure is becoming very important. We have to learn about what this critical infrastructure is. So, and what it we will learn about this critical infrastructure a little later in detail. And finally, there's impact on the environmental resources. There is depletion of resources, the water resources, the energy resources. There's depletion. There is also due to disasters the degradation of resources, that is degradation of land resource, air, that means in terms of air quality, then degradation of water resources, and there is loss of biodiversity, there is loss of habitat, loss of ecosystems. All these, as you'll be seeing, are the impacts of disasters, and they are all related to people. We have to understand the impacts of the disasters so as to plan for disaster mitigation, so that we can reduce the or through our actions, through our plans, through our policies, strategies, we can reduce the impacts which generally happen with the disasters. Let us learn about the impacts of disasters in the last 10 years. As you can see from this table, incidences of climate related disasters have increased, which includes cyclones, typhoons, hurricanes, floods, etc. Apart from earthquakes, this table also shows, as we were discussing earlier, that there are various types of impacts, from socioeconomic impacts to physical impacts to environmental impacts. So this table shows how, for each disaster, what has been the impact, how many people have died, how many people were injured, how many went missing, what was the economic loss, how many houses were destroyed, what was the loss in environmental resources. So this is as per the disasters. You can see the information given, and from this we can also decipher that the scale of the disasters or the scale of the impacts vary. For example, the economic loss ranges from less than half a billion US dollars to more than 120 US billion dollars. The deaths have ranged from nearly 50 to more than 2 lakhs. So the disasters which have hit the cities and various areas have ravaged, have damaged various aspects of the related to people, resources, and the built environment.